everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a book haul ready for the new year. Don't worry, the lighting is not going to be like this for the whole video. I'm going to film this as and when I receive books. So I'm going to do a couple of book orders, go book shopping in the shops. Basically, I've had a backlist of books that I've been wanting to read for a long time. And I feel like the last couple of years I've really got caught up in the hype of reading popular books. And I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing that. There are still popular books that I look at and get excited about and want to read straight away. I do love reading books at the same time as everyone else and talking about them and hyping them. However, I've been doing that at the detriment of reading the books that I've actually wanted to read for a long time. So this is going to be a haul combining me buying newer releases that I'm really excited to read in 2026, but also buying quite a lot of older books that I've been really interested in for a long time and for literally no reason have been putting off reading and not buying them. So the first parcel that we have here today is secondhand books. I think there's one book in there that's new, but all of the rest of them are secondhand. I want to try and buy more secondhand books. I literally used to buy all of my books secondhand from like charity shops or secondhand bookshops. And again, the last couple of years, I've fallen off. I've not been very good at doing that. I've been buying my books new and I really want to get back to buying more secondhand books. So the first parcel I have is from World of Books. Let's rip open this parcel. I'm also kind of excited that like I already know that some of these books are the ugly covers, but like why is that kind of fun? Like I do love my bookshelves to look nice and aesthetic, but also I kind of miss having like kind of beaten up ugly secondhand copies of books. So I'm quite excited that some of these are going to be that. The first one is The Diviners by Libba Bray. See what I mean about the ugly cover, but why do I kind of like it? Why do I think it's kind of cute? Anyway, The Diviners by Libba Bray. I am not 1,100% sure what this is about, but I remember hearing about this a few years ago and it sounding so interesting to me. And I just feel like a lot of the books I've been reading recently are very much the same. A lot of romantasy, a lot of romance, where it's just all the same. And I feel like this is something a bit different. Let's have a look. Evie O'Neill has been exiled from her boring old hometown and is shipped off to the bustling streets of New York City. Okay, I love books that are set in New York. The word, I don't understand what word they're trying to say. She's very pleased about it. The only catch is that she has to live with her Uncle Will and his unhealthy obsession with the occult. Okay. Oh, Evie worries he'll discover her darkest secret, a supernatural power that has only brought her trouble so far. So she's got like a hidden power. Okay, fun. That sounds so like fun. And again, it's like a bit of a beat up old copy, but why do I kind of love that? I'm very excited to read this. The next book I got is The Beautiful Ones by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I believe this is the same author as Mexican Gothic. I haven't read that one. The premise of this one just sounded ever so slightly more appealing to me than Mexican Gothic. If I enjoy this, I will definitely go and read that after. But of the two, this one sounded a little bit more up my street. They are The Beautiful Ones. I don't know how to say the place. Loiseau, most notable socialites, and this spring Nina will join their ranks, courtesy of a well-connected cousin and his calculating wife. Nina has always struggled to control her telekinesis. I can never say that word. But Nina has always struggled to control her telekinesis. Telekinesis. She can read people's minds, right? That's what that means. She's struggling to control that. Malicious neighbours call her the Witch of Old House, and even though the grand season has only just begun, her debut into high society has already gone disastrously awry. So I think this is like Bridgerton, but with like some magical fantasy powers, but like not fantasy. I don't know. It sounded fun. It basically feels like slightly magical Bridgerton. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but it sounded very interesting. Okay, what have we got next? Okay, this is a dystopia. Looks like it originally came from Waterstones. This is a YA dystopia, and if there's one thing that's missing from my life, it's good YA dystopia. We can see here, I don't actually know how much you can see of that shelf. I think you can just about see some of my YA dystopias. That used to be my bread and butter. That used to be pretty much all I read. I have a whole YA dystopia shelf and an adult dystopia shelf next to me. And I haven't read basically any dystopia. Not 100% sure what it's about, but basically as soon as I saw YA dystopia, I bought this. Let's have a look. Don't be deceived by North Haven's prettiness, by its whitewash houses and its sea views. In truth, many of its townsfolk are ruthless hunters. They revile those who have developed songlight, the ability to connect telepathically with others. Anyone found with this sixth sense is caught, prosecuted and denounced. It just sounds like a bit of me. I just need a good classic YA dystopia that's just gonna, again, give me something a bit different than the same books. That is a theme here, in that I've tried to get all these books that sound really interesting to me but are different to what I've been reading the last couple of years. I'm trying to get like back to my roots of reading a wider variety of books, and I think this is going to tick that box. Okay, what is next? I don't know. I think we have 2 books left. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. This is just a book that has been on my radar for years and years, and that, I don't know, I've always just felt quite drawn to it. When I read the back, there's nothing on it that kind of jumps out that's like my taste necessarily, but for some reason I've just always felt really drawn to read this book. So I thought, well, I'm doing a secondhand book haul, why not pick it up? And again, I went for like the classic cover that people think is a bit uglier, but I kind of like this. Hang on, these are not all of my books. I know I ordered more than this, so I'm hoping there's a second parcel on the way. The last one that I have right now is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco. Again, I've been wanting to read this for years. I read Kingdom of the Wicked, only the first book. I didn't love that book, to be honest, but I liked the writing. I just didn't love the plot particularly. I'm not sure that series is for me. However, this sounds very interesting. I am a bit of a history nerd. I didn't study it past like year 9 at school, but I've always been so interested in history. I think this will kind of hopefully tick that box. This is like a big, like a tall paperback. Like if we compare it, this is like a standard UK paperback. That's quite fun. Anyway, I'm assuming is this like an American paperback? It is floppy, so I'm assuming so. But again, I like the cover of this, even though it's like, in theory, quite ugly. Is there a bookmark in here? I'm sure I've just seen a little... Oh, it's like a ticket from the Shard that someone has left in this book. Okay, I don't know why I think that's quite cute. But anyway, oh, this has like pictures and stuff. I am so excited to read this. I think this will probably be one of the first books I read, to be honest, in 2026. But yeah, they are all the books I've got for now. I definitely ordered more than this, so I will come back to you when hopefully the rest of the books from this order arrive. It's the next day and I've just had another small parcel come from World of Books. I think this is the book that was missing yesterday. So I think this is the one that I got from World of Books, but this is new. So they do sell new books as well. And it is The Will of the Many. I don't know, is it James? I would pronounce that James Islington, but everyone else is saying Islington. So I don't know which one it is. But this is a fantasy book, a high fantasy book, which I believe is set in some kind of academy. Yeah, it's set at a prestigious school. And this kind of, the reason I got this, I've seen quite a few people that I follow read this and love it, even though they don't typically read a lot of high fantasy, which neither do I. Oh my god, the font in this is so small. Can you see that? Anyway, I got this because a lot of people who this wouldn't typically be within their comfort zone loved it. And as I said, I just want to read more books in 2026 that are a bit more thought-provoking, take a bit more brain power, and finally a place in life where like I've got the brain power to expend on reading books that are a little bit more complex, that are going to take longer to read, that I can really get into. I think that's what I've been missing with so many books recently, is that I've been reading so much stuff that feels surface level and I just want something I can really get stuck into that's a little bit more complex. So I am very, very excited as well about this one. By the looks of the font, I think I'll probably read this like a combination of physical and audio to help me get through the chunk of this. I'm back with another parcel. This one does only have one book in it, so this will be a quick clip, but I thought I don't really want to save these up because I'm so excited about these books. I just want to open them as I receive them. So there might be a few clips in this video where I am just opening one book, but you literally won't know any different because I'll put them all together anyway. I am so excited about this book. I just need to open it now. I can't wait until I have like a stockpile of parcels to open. So this one is from Amazon because I went to Waterstones, when was it? Yesterday, and they were only accepting cash because the tills were broke and I had no cash on me, and I didn't even have a physical card to go out and get some cash. I didn't even realise that this was a special edition. Well, not like a special edition, but like it's got sprayed edges. Okay, To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. This apparently is an actual dystopia. Because if one more person says to me that Silver Elite is a dystopia, I'm going to lose it. It's a military fantasy, and I didn't think it was very good. Apparently this gives Divergent vibes. When I say dystopia, I've been saying in videos for a while that I need more dystopia back in my life. When I say dystopia, I mean an actual dystopian world. I want an interesting world setup that is genuinely dystopian. I don't want a weak dystopian backdrop for a romance. No, no, no. I want an actual dystopian world, and apparently this gives Divergent vibes. Ellen Catherine said this. I don't think she meant like the plot is the same as Divergent at all. I think she just means like the feeling that this gives is the same as like Divergent kind of vibes. I've not even read the blurb, which I'm trying to get better at. I'm trying not to just buy books blindly. But honestly, at this point, if you say to me that this is a dystopia, I'll probably just buy it because I'm so desperate for a good dystopia. In the city of Dividium, however you pronounce that, the law is simple. Commit a crime and your punishment is a life sentence in Enlock, a prison where the wealthy hunt inmates for sport. Interesting. Okay, cool. There's like missions. Okay, cool. We'll see how this one goes. I'm just hoping it's actually dystopian. It's got red sprayed edges. Not the biggest fan of a plain sprayed edge, but it's fine. Is there anything on the... Oh yeah, it's got like art on the dust jacket. Oh, I like the colour of the naked hardback, like a deep purple. It's the same day. I'm back with another parcel. This is from The Works. This is quite representative of every parcel I receive from them, to be honest. It's got like holes in it. I'm indeed going to use my hair cutting scissors to chop this open because I've been wrestling with this box for way too long. Say this is a box with holes in. I'm really struggling to get in it. Okay, I'm kind of in. Okay, one of my books is bent. Great start. I always prefer to shop in store at The Works as well, but they didn't have literally any of the things that I wanted in either of the Works. I went to like 3 different Works and none of them had it, so... Anyway, okay, there's something in there that I didn't order for a start. Guys, okay. I've got 3 things to show you in here that are actually mine. The first one is the one I was most excited about that is completely damaged. And it's Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I have actually already read this book. I read it on KU, but I loved it so much that I wanted a physical copy of it. And it's going to be a series. I know I'll want to read the next one. I love most of Lila Sage's other books. I like all of them. There's one that I don't love as much, Wild and Wrangled. I gave that 3-star. But I own physical copies of all of her books. Love most of them. So I wanted to add this to my collection. I particularly like the sprayed edge. I don't typically like a plain sprayed edge. But I think here it works because it matches the title and like the vibe of the book. So I am a bit sad that it's bent. But I'm sure if I just put something on top of that for a couple of days, I think it'll flatten back down. I don't think it's like irreparably damaged. I'm just going to put the book on top of it and just hope that it goes back to normal. The next book I got, I actually haven't read, and it is Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. I really liked Better Than the Movies. Didn't love Nothing Like the Movies as much. I think I still gave it like a 4. I enjoyed it, but it's not like stuck with me. But when I heard the premise for this, I just knew I needed to read it. It's about ice skating. And we all know I used to be an ice skater, not like professionally, just as a kid. I did it for years, and it's like stuck with me. I just love ice skating. I love books about ice skating. My favourite romance book ever is From Luke Off With Love by Mariana Zapata. I love ice skating. So I really wanted to pick this one up. I don't read YA much anymore at all, really. Basically only Lynn Painter and like Alice Oseman. But I just got a feeling that I love this, and it's actually got really, really good reviews. So I am very excited to read this one. So please ignore this. I've picked a spot and it won't stop bleeding, and I don't know what to do about it. I can't put the concealer on because it's like an open wound. So we're just going to ignore it, but I am back with 2 more books for this haul. The first one isn't an unboxing because I actually bought this in person from a gorgeous independent bookshop. They had new and secondhand books, and I literally could have spent all day in there. Sadly, I don't live anywhere near it because we travelled this weekend, but I got Brigands and Bread Knives. Is that how you say it? That's how I've heard people say it. It doesn't feel right, but that's what the people are saying. It's a signed copy, and it's also got a gorgeous little sprayed edge. I just thought this was adorable. There's the signature. I have read the first 2 in the series and loved the first one. Really liked the second one. Didn't wow me quite as much. But I just think overall this is such a sweet, cozy fantasy series, and I knew I definitely wanted to get a copy of this when it came out. So I'm kind of glad that I held off. Like, I didn't hold off on purpose. I just kept forgetting that I was supposed to get a copy of it. And I'm glad that I kept forgetting because I've got this gorgeous sprayed edge signed copy, and that was $18.99, which is like what you'd pay here for a hardback anyway. So I was more than happy to spend that in like an independent bookshop. So that is the first book I got. The second one is literally just come in the post, and I can't remember what it is. I know it's a second-hand book, but I honestly can't remember what I've ordered. Oh, okay. It's Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. This is on my 26 books to read in 2026. This is a book about 2 people who used to be in a relationship, and they're both authors, and it turns out they're writing their books about each other. And one of them, I think, realises it and goes to the other and is like, stop writing books about me. And the other one is like, yeah, I'll stop when you stop. I think that sounds very similar to 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, which is also on my TBR for 2026. And I also haven't read. So I'm expecting this one is probably going to be a bit more maybe, I was going to say rom-commy, but actually I read Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino and that wasn't rom-commy at all, so maybe not. I think it's going to be different probably in tone than 7 Days in June, but I'm very excited to read both of them. I already have 7 Days in June on Kindle, so I didn't get a copy of that, but yeah, wanted a copy of this one because this isn't on KU or anything, and my library didn't have it, so I thought I would pick that one up second hand. So yeah, 2 more books to add on to the TBR card for 2026. Apologies about the ugly lighting. I've had to put the overhead light on because it's already dark despite the fact that it's not even 3 p.m. But I've just been book shopping and I've got 3 more books to show you. They are all from The Works and they were all on the 3 for £7.50 deal. So the first one that I kind of specifically went in looking for, Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I've just read just for the summer. I've already read Yours Truly and Part of Your World. Adored all 3 of those books, and I know this one doesn't get quite as good reviews as those ones do, but I knew I still wanted to read it. I've loved all of the books that I've read by the author so far, so I am going to this with slightly lower expectations. So either I'll be pleasantly surprised or I might not love it as much as the others, and that's okay. I've heard this one is very sad, which all of her books have sad elements, but I've heard that this one is kind of extra sad, so we will see. The next one again is one that I've heard people talk about. It's also got a little quote thing on the front from Rachel Gillig, an author that I very much loved this year. In the Veins of Drowning. Who's it by? Kaylee Cassidy. Again, I've heard reasonably mixed things, but I feel like a lot of the people that I watch and tend to have the same taste as really enjoyed this. I think it's like a sea fantasy, is it? Maybe? Yes, it's about sirens, which is different to the types of fantasies that I usually read, but very, very interesting. So again, very excited about that one. And then I needed another book to put on the deal, and I wasn't really sure what to put on. I wasn't recognising a lot of the books on there. I didn't just want to buy one for the sake of it, and a lot of the books that I'd heard of I kind of know and like they had some Lucy Score books on there. The last Lucy Score book that I read scarred me for life, quite frankly, so I knew I wasn't going to go with any of those. And then I saw this, Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley, I think it is. Yeah, the sticker's over it, but I'm sure it's by Sarah Hawley. This is more of like a classic fae fantasy, like a fairy fantasy. And again, I've heard people talk about it, I just can't remember if they said it was good or bad. But I thought, well, it's only £2.50. And it means I can get the deal on the other 2. So if I end up not loving this one, that's absolutely fine, but it does genuinely sound interesting to me from the back. It sounds like the type of fantasy that I tend to like, and I'm sure I've heard good things about this. I really said I was going to go into 2026 not buying books for the sake of it, but it was a deal, so that doesn't count. Anyway, they're the 3 books that I got today from The Works. I am back with 2 more books, and I do apologise, I've already unboxed them because I've sold loads of books on Vinted, and I needed the box that these came in to ship out some of the books that I sold. It's only 2 books, so I hope it's fine. The first one is the 3rd Emily Wilde book. I have already read this. I just wanted a physical copy and I was waiting for the paperback to come out. I listened to it on audio because I have the first 2 in paperback and this got released first in hardback. I didn't want to buy the hardback because I didn't want them to be mismatched, so I listened to it on audio and then decided to wait until the paperback came out to get a physical copy. I think these covers are just absolutely stunning, like obsessed. This is one of my favourite series, so I definitely wanted it displayed on my shelf. I know some people think it's silly to buy physical copies when you've already read it, completely fair enough. I only do it with books that I absolutely love and that I want to display on my shelves, and as I said, I already had the first 2, so I picked up that. And then the next one is a book that I've already read, but I have a good reason for this one. I originally listened to this on audio because I wasn't going to get the hardcover again. I have other books by this author in paperback, so I didn't want the hardback of this. However, this is the first in a series, and if I don't get the hardback of this, I'll have to wait again for the second one, which will also come out in hardback. I also want to read this physically. I again originally listened to it on audio and I just don't feel like it hit quite as much as I expected it to. So before the next book comes out later in 2026, I do want to reread this book. So I picked up a copy of The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I decided it's fine. I have One Dark Window and 2 Twisted Crowns in paperback, but I just thought that's fine. We can have those 2 in paperback and then have this one and the second book in this duology. I think it's going to be a duology in hardback. I do love this cover. I do think it's stunning. And as I said, I do want to reread this one physically. I don't know. I just think the audiobook didn't hit, and there's quite a lot of little intricacies, I feel like, in here with the magic system that I perhaps missed out on and need to just go back and revisit. So yeah, I am going to reread this one physically. I do have another couple of books on the way, so I will see you when they arrive. I am still in my pyjamas and the lighting is very bright, but I have just had a parcel come through the door. I had a parcel come yesterday that was supposed to have a book in it. It had been stolen. The parcel had been opened and sneakily resealed, and there was nothing in it. And in here there's supposed to be 2 books. There is not 2 books in here. So all in all, I'm not having much luck the last 2 days with book deliveries, but anyway, let's open this package and see which book has actually arrived. I think it's going to be an Abby Jimenez book, but I don't know which one because there should be two and there's not. It is my copy of Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is a second-hand copy. I got it from We Buy Books. I think this is where this came from. I read this towards the end of 2025 and absolutely adored it. To no one's surprise, I love Abby Jimenez. I gave this like 4.75 stars. I absolutely adored it, so I really wanted a physical copy. I originally read it on Kindle, but yeah, when I love a book, I just want the trophy and I want to display it on my shelves. But that's why I got a second-hand copy. I felt a bit less of like, I don't know, just felt not quite as bad as buying a branded copy of a book that I've already read. So yeah, I will pop this one on the shelf with my other Abby Jimenez books. I've also ordered a copy of Yours Truly, which I read in 2024, I think. I don't know where she is. She should be here. She's not, so great, love that. But anyway, at least we've got this one. I'm here to unbox my final book of this video and round the video out because I think I have dragged it on for quite long enough. I have a Fairy Loot parcel. I'm actually really glad this came before the end of this video because I forgot I ordered this, but I was very, very excited when I did order it. So this is a special edition. I have since read the book because I got the standard copy because I knew that this book came out like a few months ago and I knew the Fairy Loot one wouldn't ship until now. And I really did want to read the book, so I did get the standard copy and read it. I didn't end up loving this book, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate it, it just didn't wow me the way I thought it would wow me. Oh cute, bookmark. I feel like I've not had a Fairy Loot parcel with a bookmark. It used to just be the cards. That's cute, I like that. I can put that in my little bookmark cup. Anyway, I didn't end up being completely obsessed with this book in particular, but it is part of one of my favourite series ever, and these Fairy Loot editions are stunning, and I would love to have the complete set even if this one book isn't my favourite. The other two books in this series are god tier, so I feel like it's fine. I feel like it still makes sense for me to keep this. I did consider selling it on, but I do want the complete set. I feel like if you know, you know, just from looking at that, like what this is. Oh my god, it's so stunning. I actually can't cope. Sorry about the bubble wrap noises. Maybe it's ASMR, but I doubt it. Oh my god, this is stunning. Stop it. So this is a copy of Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, obviously the Fairy Loot edition. Shut up. Look at those straight edges. When I say I like sprayed edges, this is what I mean. Not just an ugly block colour. This is what I want when I say sprayed edges. The cover is stunning. I love that these editions are black and white. I feel like that so suits the Divine Rivals series for them to be in black and white. I also love like the copper foil writing on this. The back, even the back, like look at the flowers. Let's see. Oh, okay. I haven't looked at this. Like as I said, kind of forgot that I ordered this because Fairy Loot has a really big delay between ordering. Like I ordered this months and months and months ago, and then I just got an email to say that it was shipping. So I really don't remember any of the details. Look at the, again, the foiling with the black and white. Stunning. I didn't even know that it like had a naked hardback. Oh my god, shut up. That is gorgeous. Like the problem with these editions is that I don't know how to display them because every part of them is so stunning. I actually don't have Divine Rivals yet because I missed out and it's so expensive to buy it secondhand, but I have Ruthless Vows and now Wild Reverence. And the naked hardback is so beautiful, the cover's so beautiful. I kind of want to display it like this because the sprayed edge is so beautiful. Like I don't know how to put these on my shelves because I want to display like every angle of them because they are just so gorgeous. This is really, I've been having a week. I've been really going through it and this has made me so happy. Even though, as I said, this one book in particular isn't like a god tier favourite of all time, the series as a whole is. And like I didn't hate this book. Obviously I wouldn't keep a special edition of a book that I hated, but this kind of makes me like the book more, which is stupid. We shouldn't judge a book on its cover, but like these sprayed edges, I actually can't. Okay, I'm gonna like cut the clip before I just sit here and stare at this book. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope the style of it was okay. I don't usually film my hauls this way. I usually stack them all up and just go through them like in one clip. But I don't know. I wanted to try something different. I hope it was okay. Do let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.